Hey guys, it's Mrs. Abbott, and I am trying something new by recording a short lesson for you to get you started with math. Your guest teacher will help you during independent time, but I'm going to talk to you about the lesson to see if we can pick up where we left off yesterday. So yesterday we were talking about 2 by 1 digit multiplication using the algebraic notation method. And I think you were doing really well with it. Today, I want to give you a chance to practice 3 by 1 multiplication, which you kind of started to challenge yourself by in some cases. So here is an area model for 3 by 1. And I think that's important for you to take a look at and take a minute to examine, because as we add another digit, we're adding a whole nother place value. We were multiplying by tens and ones, and now we're multiplying by hundreds. So if you can see that this model shows that multiplication, this is showing 7 times 300, or 7 groups of 300. Take a minute to look at it. Hopefully, you can see that the 300 is broken up into 3 groups of 100, and the 7 is broken up into its ones. We always want to factor into our tens, ones, and in this case, hundreds. So this is, now looking at this algebraic notation here, 7 groups of 300 is the same as saying 7 groups of 3 groups of 100. Which is equal to 7 times 3 times 100, which is 21 times 100, which is 2,100, or 2,100. So there are 21 blocks of 100, because each of these blocks is one group of 100. Okay? Now we're not going to draw out all of the whole area model as we go through, because our numbers are going to get too big. So, we're going to skip that. So let's look at what an area model might look like. So for 4 by 237, the first thing you're going to do is take 237 and factor it into its hundreds, tens, and ones. So break it apart. It just has another place value. It's the same thing you've been doing. Same step as you could see on all of our posters. So 200 plus 30 plus 7. 200s, 3 tens, 7 ones. Then on the other side, 4, because it's just by the ones. Now, draw your lines right where your plus signs are. Okay? And then, as we move forward with this, you have 3 equations now. So because you have 3 digits, you are going to go ahead and have 3 equations and 3 partial products. So this is, let me get my pen back. This is 200 groups of 4, because it's a 200 by 4 area. This is 30 groups of 4. And this is 7 groups of 4. So this is 28 ones. This is 120, because 3 times 4 is 12. So 30 times 4 is 10 times that amount. That's 120. And 4 times 2 is 8. 100 times more is 800. So now I have my 3 partial products. I'm going to pull them over to the side, and I'm going to add them together. Okay. So my total product is 948. And oops, I forgot, maybe you've already noticed this, that I forgot to start by estimating. That's okay. I could do it at the end too. in this case, because it's just, the point is that I'm checking my work. So that's 4, and 237, I'm going to round it to the nearest 100. And that tells me, that 3 tells me to round down, so it's 4 times 200. And that is 800. So that's close to 948. It's not off by a huge amount, okay? You're going to say, but that's, 148 off. That's okay. Because remember, you still had 4 groups of 30 and 4 groups of 7 to add to that. It's in the same ballpark, okay? So that is the area model, place value sections, okay? Or PVS. And to talk about the expanded notation, here's the same problem we were just doing. But in expanded notation, they just wrote, first they wrote the 4 over here. So here's the area model to remind you. Although the strategy by itself for expanded notation is right here. Okay? So they just took 237, and I do it down here so you can see how it builds, is equal to 200 plus 30 plus 7 and times 4 is equal to just 4 because it's just the ones. Draw my big line. And then I'm going to do, here's my first one. The first equation is 200 times 4, which we already said was 800. My next one is 4 groups of 30, or 30 groups of 4. And remember, I'm going to line up my digits as best as I can. Then my third equation is 7 groups of 4. And that's 28. I'm going to add them together, and I'm going to get 948. And hey, if I'm a flexible math thinker and I got 948 here, and I got 948 here, then you know what? I'm probably on the right track, especially if it matches my estimate. Now, what about the algebraic notation method? Take a minute to look at it. Just the method. This is it all done. So remember, they're using dots to say multiply by. That's fine. You can use dots. Okay? And they're putting the area model here to remind you. It's not part of the method. It's just there to remind you that it is connected to the area model and the place value sections. Okay, so the way I'm going to do algebraic notation method is I'm going to say 4 times 237 equals 4 times, and then I'm going to just break it apart like I have been doing. 200 plus 30 plus 7. Okay, then I'm going to do the first equation, 4, and I don't like that they don't have parentheses. We talked about that today in class. We want to be neat about this. It's easier to see. So my first equation is 4 by 200 plus my next equation, my tens product. That's my hundreds product. My tens, 4 by 30 plus 4 by 7. Okay, so then those are my 3 equations. Now I'm just going to solve them. 4 by 200 is 800 plus 4 by 30 is 120, and 4 by 7 is 28. And I'm going to add them together. If you can't mentally add the numbers, there's too many there, especially when there's 3 digits, pull them off to the side. Okay, in this case, I'm going to add them mentally. I'm going to say my total product is 948. okay, which matches my other methods. So now you're going to see this page in your packet today. It's actually the packet I gave most of you yesterday. There are a couple kids who I think I passed it out to or might still need it, so check. But this is not the first page of your packet. It's a few pages in. But it will give you an example of what we just talked about, of place value sections, expanded notation, algebraic notation, and it's going to ask you what the first step is. Okay? So, your directions today. Okay? I want you first to finish yesterday's work in the packet. Okay? So if you were working, that means if you were working on 2 by 1 digit algebraic notation, great, okay? In the packet after that work is continue in the packet with 3 by 1 digit, okay? And I want you to try all the methods, okay? There's one where it asks you, it tells you which ones to try, but try all the methods, okay? If you finish, okay, then you can work on past packets, okay? We're getting ready to collect these for portfolio night, so please make sure you do that, and we can leave this up for the directions. And if you really don't have anything else to do, then you can either be a helper or I should say volunteer to help others, or read, okay? So if you get to that point. All right, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope that this was helpful, and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. I hope Elliot will be better, and I will be better, and I hope you get some good practice. Use this time wisely to get some good practice with math. Please ask questions. Your guest teacher will form a group of kids who want to work together if you still have questions and you have kids who need help. But it's okay to talk to a partner and work through this as long as you are on task. Okay? So do good work, and I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. Bye.